What's up, guys? This is a recap of Inspire Collective on March 15th at Amplified Church. I'm going to have three main points for you. This is what I took away from the message. I'm going to link the whole service below in the description, so you can go ahead and watch. There's worship included in that too. But yeah, I'm going to give you three main points that I got from the message. So we had Pastor Brandon preaching in our Outcry series, and the verse, I guess the chapter we're in, is Revelation 4. His main topic tonight was the presence of God. The presence of God is so interesting to me because sometimes it's so obvious when I'm in his presence. Well, we're always in his presence, but when I recognize it, when I'm aware of it, sometimes it hits me in the face and I'm like, oh wow, this is a moment. But other times I'm like confused. I'm just like, what is going on? So my first point is that his presence has become common to us. And a lot of people might think, well, I don't even feel his presence, so how can it become common to me? If anything, it's uncommon to me, right? But that's almost kind of the point, that he's with us everywhere we go, regardless of what we're doing, where we're at, what time it is. He's just always there, and it's not if his presence is there, it's whether we're aware to it. This point really hits, especially during worship, whenever we're singing songs, that I can be so adjusted and seasoned to the atmosphere. I think his presence can be confused with an atmosphere. I can be so accustomed to an atmosphere that when I go to church, I'm just like, the music's hot, the music's loud, people are screaming, not really screaming, but they're getting their praise on, and it's a good environment. I feel good, so I think I feel the presence of God, which could be true, but at the same time, his presence isn't limited to that place, which gets me into my second point, that his presence is not connected to his service. And this is it's eye-opening once you think about it and once you unpack it a little bit. His presence isn't just in the house. It's in us. The Holy Spirit is in us. When Jesus died, he said there was going to be one thing coming to us that was greater than he was, which was the Holy Spirit. And we all have access to the Holy Spirit. And with this, the presence of God is always with us. But this is the caveat. So his presence isn't connected to his service, and it's always with us, but it's up to us on how much we let him in, right? Think about it as like a faucet, right? You can turn a faucet on just a little bit, and you turn the faucet on a little bit, and it drips, and it slowly fills up, barely fills up anything, just kind of gets the sink wet. Or you could fully unleash that faucet, and water starts pouring into the sink. It's a similar concept to kind of letting God into our life, that we have the control of how much we want to let God in. God's all powerful, and he's so capable of everything. He's in control of everything, but he's not going to force his way into our life. So we have to let him in. Letting God into certain parts of your life can be difficult because you might not feel comfortable with letting people into those parts of your life. You might not feel comfortable letting people into your lives and letting them know about some addictions you might have. Maybe letting them know about your love life, your finances, right? But God isn't like any human. He's perfect, he's loving, and he's not going to shame us. There's parts that are super easy to let God into once you get to know him, but there's parts that every single person has one, at least one, probably maybe two or three. Low-key, I got 4, and I'm trying my best wall by wall, but there's parts of my life that I'm slowly trying to let God into, and it's difficult. But this is where worship comes in, and this is my third point, that worship isn't about me. When you worship, I guess my third point is that worship is saying, God, this is who you are, and it's not saying, what can I get from it? Worship isn't something I go into and I'm like, oh, what can I get out of it? Oh, I really didn't like that song, so I didn't worship too much. No, it's not about me. It's about God. It's about saying, God, this is who you are. You're almighty, you're great, you're loving, you're all powerful, you're sovereign, Lord. And I give you control, right? You throw up your hands and it's a sign of surrender. So worship is that time to let God into those parts of your life where you have those walls built up, where you may not feel his presence, but at that time it's like, God, I don't feel your presence when I'm at the gym. I don't feel your presence when I'm at work, but I want you to be a part of my life in those parts of my life. So here's the key to the wall. Here's the key to the castle. Go in, Lord. I will open the door. You have to open the door for him. He'll knock. He'll say, anyone home? Hello? I don't know, maybe, but he's going to knock, and all you have to do is let him in. And you don't have to be perfect. By any means am I saying you don't have to be perfect. But all I'm saying is you have to let him in. Those are my 3 points from the message. You can take it or leave it. That's just kind of what I got from the message. I highly suggest going back and watching the full thing. The link will be in the description. It's on Amplify Plus. While you're over there, give the video a like, hit them with a subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be ready for the next recap. Deuces.